and me, my fine feathered friend sure can sing. It isn't corn, it's solid swing. Tweet, 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 all the bird is getting hip to heat.
He's a true product of the American melange, the melting pot, the combo that we have, where he was himself all the time, but that self was a very colorful invention that crossed lines and appealed to people of all ethnic groups.
That's epitomized by the zoot suit. You have a slave owner's jacket. You have a Cuban pair of pants. You have a British pair of shoes. You have a German or Swiss watch on a long, long watch chain. You have your Chinese silk tie with an abstract French print on it. You know, you have your Egyptian cotton shirt. You have your Native American feather crowning all the way up at the top, right? And a huge hat that was what slaves would wear out in the fields. And it was putting all of these elements together in a way that was very jazzy, very new, very exciting. It was a kind of a declaration of a new cultural possibility.
Calloway was a star. He's an actor, he's a singer. He always had fine musicians. Eddie Barefield, Chew Berry, and Benny Payne. I mean, all of them. Keg played trombone, Keg Johnson, and we call him Butter. Big fat guy that played trombone. What's Butter's name? Can't think of it right now. But he had top musicians all the time. You had to really be good to play in Calloway's band.
The way that they recorded in the old mono days would be one microphone, Cab would be the closest one to it, then you'd have the saxophones standing a little ways behind him, then you'd have the trombones standing a little ways behind that, and then you'd have Cozy Cole way back in the distance, you know, and the piano would be pretty close. And that's how they recorded. They'd adjust the volume by moving musicians closer and further away to the one microphone. He was very, very particular and very critical about the drums. In swing, the drummer is supposed to feather the bass drum, doom, 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 right? Normally, they feather it even, doom, 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 doom. But what Cozy would do, he'd add the Native American element, so he'd put accents in it. Doom, doom, dun, doom, 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 dun, dun, doom, 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 dun, 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 doom, dun, 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 doom, right? Change the whole thing.
Come on, Cozy, beat out that jive now, Satchel. Solid,
but
solid, old man.
For some reason, Grandad couldn't explain this to people. When it came to the bass for the swing groove, it was like what I call now lead bass playing. That's what I learned from Milt Hinton. You know, you never hear of a bass player being a lead player, but he has the bass play a little bit before the beat, right? And the drummer plays right in the middle of the beat, right dead center in the middle of the beat while varying the bass drum, so that the cymbal of the drums almost, and the bass drum seems to almost grow out of the pluck of the bass. It will come a slight split second beforehand. The bass player pulls the whole groove forward. It gives it tremendous momentum. A weak drummer would speed up. They'd say, oh, I gotta lock in with the bass player, so I gotta speed up to get with that bass player. But what you have to do is have the strength to be able to stay in the center of the beat and let the bass player play in front of the beat. Saxophone players play slightly behind the beat. He always wanted saxes to be very, very bluesy. The sort of raucous quality of the arrangements. So he has the low saxophone writing, which makes a little more room for his voice, because he's like baritone all the way up to tenor. Then you have the trumpets, where he really liked clarity and transparency in the trumpets, and some percussiveness, but not. He didn't have the trumpets be as percussive as Basie did, and of course Duke had the least percussive trumpets. The piano player plays almost nothing. There are almost hardly any piano players left who really understand big band piano playing, because it's totally different. The thing that was even more astounding was that as a scat singer, as an instrumentalist in his own right, there's virtually nobody in his band who could cut him. There was nobody in his band who could play out of their horn more jazz than he could get out of his throat. And in addition to that, there was nobody in his band who could get more jazz out of an audience.
Oh, you send me with the jive, brother. Yes, you got to come on, come on, come on with the come on. Folks, here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Hide, 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 hide.